Hello everyone, I'm Kelly Hurley from Energetically Inspired. So today I'm going to be discussing self-mastery and how it's best done when we utilize our intuition. I'm going to talk about what the intuition is, some of the benefits, some of the reasons why we disconnect from it, and also give you guys some tools to work with it. But firstly, I'd like to just introduce myself. So I am Kelly Hurley from Energetically Inspired, and I am one of the She Is authors. Very honored to be here and share some of my wisdom and knowledge with you guys. So I am actually a healer, an energy healer, a transformational coach, an intuitive guide, a divine feminine leader. I am many things, and as I discuss in my chapter, a multifaceted prism of energy, essence, and lights, blending together to make me the unique person that I am, known as Kelly. So a lot of my purpose and passion here is to help people heal, to evolve, to come back into their true self, so they can connect into their purpose, their passion, and find the true meaning of happily ever after, which comes through connection of self and living our true path aligned to that. So my journey and my experience and my knowledge has come through my own journey itself. I have walked the path of the things I teach. I have experienced it and used the wisdom as part of my medicine to help others. It is an interesting path, because as I'm a healer, I'm constantly in a space of evolving and expanding. And through being a healer, I'm always attracted to the parts of myself that can expand, heal, or grow more. So it's always evolving and shifting. I'm a mystic, so I'm super intrigued in the mystical arts. So that's the healing, the intuition, consciousness itself. How to master or become more connected to more whole and more led by our spirit and our soul. I teach how to become healthy in our ego, because the ego is a very important part of this human experience. So how to transform this so it works and blends with our soul. And that's how our spirit is actually birthed. So for me, to be the healer, I had to heal myself. To be the transformational guide that I am, I had to transform myself. As I connected into my own intuition, I became the intuitive guide. As I took back my own power, I became a divine feminine leader. So that's a little bit about my journey. I have shared 2 different pieces, one within the She Is, and also in another book that also went bestseller. Internationally bestseller, actually. So I'm excited to share today just some of the things I really love, because I'm super passionate about helping people come into this true place of self, right? And so mastery is done by mastering ourself, our true self. And our true self comes through our spirit, our soul's contract, our true divine purpose here on this planet. Most people don't know what that is, because we are conditioned through society, by our parents, by school, to believe we are meant to be something, to believe that we are meant to work a certain path to create happiness. And so often, so many of us are unhappy. We get attached to things and ideals that are not meant to be for us. And they are beautiful things, but we don't find fulfillment. True fulfillment comes from within, from being connected to self and feeling that energy that flows through your being. So I want to help you guys today to come back to that intuitive power. So do you ever stop and really wonder, why do some people just seem to have that flow? That opportunities and doors just happen for them? That they seem to be in the right place at the right time? You know, they seem to have the right things or are able to respond and act quickly in any moment. They just have a knowing. It seems like they are blessed and lucky, right? But really, they're just tapping into that true divine knowledge that comes within them and trusting and surrendering deeply into something that guides them from within. They take the path of these unknown paths in front of us and take the chances by trusting. Now, to trust in this really takes to trust in self. We need to learn to trust ourselves. See, if we are, sorry, something just flashed up on my screen. If we are weak and wavering in our sense of self, our capacity to function is limited. So we need to learn how to trust in self. Now, when I didn't trust in myself, I always sought other people's opinions. I always let other people's judgments affect me. And if we are not able to stop those things and stop being led by other people, we are never going to surrender into the trust of true divine self, into the divine knowledge, to the divine guidance that comes from within. So that is one of the biggest reasons why we lose this connection. Now, to have this connection, we open so many opportunities to us that are way beyond our mind's constructs. Now, I tell you that 6 months ago, if someone had said to me that you are going to be an author, that alone a best-selling author in 2 books that went international, I would have laughed, because that was not within the constraints of my mind, okay? At school, I didn't do well in English. It was not my favorite subject. I did well in other subjects, but didn't like reading. I didn't like writing. I love telling my story. I love helping people. I love inspiring people. I love delivering my medicine and magic to others. And so when the opportunity to step into She Is came about, I almost ignored it and stepped over it, had other things going on in my world, and I was being distracted by life, which happens to all of us. But I'm lucky that I listened to my soul and spirit, and it was nudging me to say, you've got something blocked, which is something I'm not seeing. And then I felt into that space and seek the guidance, and there it was right in front of me. So when I said yes to one, within a week I had another one. And next thing you know, I was writing 2 books and not 1. And this was a beautiful experience because, one, to put your words on paper and see your journey, to go from a place of never thinking you would do something like this to doing it. But also the words, as I put them down, allowed me to detach from the story. It was already finished. It felt like it was an end of a chapter, and now I had a new chapter to start in life. So my intuition has brought me many gifts. It was my intuition. I was already a Reiki healer, but I got offered to join a program called Body Attunement, which is one of my major healing sessions. It was offered to me to join in, and I said to the lady, felt into it, and I was like, this feels aligned. It really does. And I was still learning to master my intuition and trust. And I said to her, I've just become a single mum. I don't have a lot of financial flow at the moment, but I would really like to take this opportunity. And she said, just pay me whatever you can per week and we'll work it out. But the first thing when this opportunity came up was that I had the fears of finances. I can't afford this. But I asked the question, and everything was made possible in flow. So by taking the opportunities and not letting my mind limit me with the stories, the attachments, and the limitations, I've learnt to be able to step into so many things that were beyond my mind. It's in the unknown that everything exists, way beyond your mind's construct, way beyond your wildest dreams. Could you imagine having things that are beyond your wildest dreams? And this is what happens when we learn to trust. We learn to heal. We get the answers to what we need. And even if we don't get the answers, We know things are going to work out for our highest interest. So many times I have stepped into something and not knowing anything about where it was leading me. My mind wants a crystal ball. It wants to know everything. But I've had to learn to trust, undividedly trust in something within me that knows what is right for my highest purpose, my highest self. And so many times someone has said to me, why? Like, explain, why do you do that? Especially in a healing session, or some of the like my group healing sessions, not doing it live. And they'd be like, why? Why are you doing this process when you're moving the energy? And because I was guided to. I don't know why. Later on, because I'm curious and because I'm a teacher in this arts, they show me why. But they want me to trust first. They want you to trust. Your soul wants you to trust. So there's so much magic in this opportunity to turn into yourself. What you will receive is beyond your wildest dreams. Stepping into the unknown is scary. In the dark is scary. But there's beautiful gifts. It's in the darkness that lays our most divine gifts. Our biggest healing and transformation and ability to evolve and expand comes from within this place that we so often don't want to see, the shadows. In the darkness, owning those parts of ourselves, we transform our lives, we transform our life, we transform ourselves, everything. So step into it. I encourage it. Now, doing this, you will create flow, you will create opportunities, but it's not always easy. In expansion, it can be challenging. It really can. Because we're going into somewhere. It's challenging. We're learning. We're growing in these experiences. But by having the right tools and trusting, you know that it will work out. And so often when we surrender into those difficult times and those challenging moments, we move through them quickly because we're not creating resistance to the challenge. We're not allowing ourselves to suffer in those moments. We're moving through them with them. And that changes everything. Because energy wants to move fast. Your soul wants you to evolve. It wants you to grow. It wants you to have happiness and fulfillment and live your life with purpose. So, listening to the whispers can be hard, because if your mind is busy, if you are busy all the time and don't make space, if your head is noisy, your whispers won't be heard. You need to allow space in between. And when I say space, it doesn't have to be sitting in meditation for an hour. I'm a mother, and only just this year my youngest started school. So often it would be vacuuming and listening to the music and allowing my mind to be still. It would be sitting outside when he was little, breastfeeding him, and feeling the wind on my skin, to be present, to allow stillness. Because as you drop into your senses, you allow yourself to be out of your mind. Get in the shower, feel the water run over your body. Get creative. Imagine that water drips off your nose. It drops onto your heart and opens your heart. Allow yourself to be guided by things that are feel so crazy to your mind, but they work. Those interesting tools and techniques that I used worked. To sit in the shower and imagine it washing off the yuckiness, the things that didn't serve me, letting it wash down the drain, and I would see all this darkness, like it was grey, the water was changing colour as I had my eyes shut. And when I'd feel the lightness come over my body, all of a sudden, I would start to fill my body with white light or rainbows or something. And this would make me feel better. Using interesting tools that your body guides you to do. Use things that are simple in the moment. Allow yourself to be connected to your body and senses. Allow the mind to stop to hear the whispers. Like I said to my client today, if you're in a concert or in a nightclub and it's noisy, there's music and people yelling and screaming and doing all these things, if someone is standing beside you whispering, because a lot of the time your soul or intuition whispers. It's soft, it's gentle. It's not going to yell at you. I've only on a very few times had it come through so loud and so clear. And that was, I'll tell you one experience that happened. My littlest stuck a battery up his nose. He walked into me and I had this clear as day thought, knowing come over me. He stuck something up your nose. And I was like, and I looked at him and I was like, have you put something in your nose? And he's like, and I was like, what? And he's like, and I was like, where did you find it? I don't know, Mummy. And I was like, right, well, come here, I want to have a look. And put him up on the table and I couldn't work out what it was. It was one of those tiny, tiny little batteries. Within a very short time, his eyes started to change. You could just tell his vibration. The battery was leaking energy and of course leaking into his nose. And it was starting to corrode the center of his nose. But I had an instant warning straight away off to the hospital. Yeah, those moments, if I hadn't responded on that clear thought, that clear knowing that came through, but it's not always that loud. Yeah, things could have been very different for him. So, I know it can be occasionally very clear and very precise and comes through bang, but most of the time it will be soft, gentle. It comes through the senses of your body. It'll come through visions, maybe smells, a knowing, a feeling, a gut intuition, right? So understanding that. Now, when we come into this place, things will flow for you and opportunities will come about. Okay, and you need to trust and surrender and go with the flow. And again, it might be challenging. Now, I will give you some of the biggest reasons that this will shut down. One, the noisy mind, which I've discussed, right? Not having faith, not trusting, right? Not trusting in the divine, not trusting in the consciousness. Chakra blocks. Okay, if your chakra, especially your solar plexus, is shut, your capacity to hear your intuition will be limited. Okay? If your third eye is shut, it will block the way your visions will come through. Another one is not having an open mind, questioning things all the time, having that analyzing mind on, because it doesn't make sense. The intuition is translogical. That means it does not make sense to the ego mind most of the time. So if you're questioning things and overanalyzing and getting that vision or that sense or that feeling and not just stepping into it and trying it, you're going to limit your capacity to follow those things. Another one I'm seeing really, really consistently at the moment as well is a stress response, a triggered fight and flight, or the meridian of the triple warmer, which runs across here, around there, and down into the back. If this is activated, it shuts down your chakra system, it condenses your energy field, it creates mind chatter. It basically does all the things to the body and your mind that will definitely jeopardize your capacity to hear. At the moment, there is a collective energy of this. That almost 10 out of 10, but 9 out of 10 of my clients come in with this activated and don't think they're being affected by the pandemic. But it's a collective energy. It's a survival energy. And there is a huge amount of this been going on for about 2 years. It is so easy to turn off, and I'll quickly show you because it's so beneficial. So beneficial. So again, it runs across here, into the temple, around the ears, to the base of the head, down the neck and into the shoulders, right? So often people feel like they've got a headache. When you're stressed, you do this. Yeah, you get a sore neck and you're always like, oh, you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's because this is that triple warmer meridian. And again, It shuts down the automatic systems within the body, so digestion, immune system, shuts down the chakra systems. It does a lot to the body. So to flush that, you put your hands on your forehead. Your hands are polarized, but you're putting pressure on your head. And I'm going to do it a little bit faster to get through this course so you're not here all day with me. And putting the pressure there and pulling out. Taking nice deep breaths into the belly. Expanding your belly. Blowing out. Coming into the temples. Again, I'm doing it a little bit faster. You can do it really slow, but you can do it fast if you need to. I recommend slow. Coming up over the ears with your fingertips, putting pressure in there, okay? Coming into the base of the head, lift. I almost like lift my skull up a little bit. Go down the back of my neck. It feels so nice to run down the back of my neck. Grab my shoulders, flick out. If there was any points that were sore, go back and rub those points out. They're blocked meridian points, so that's where they kind of use the acupressure points. Go back, people use tapping in those places. Go back, rub them out, and do the flush again. That will bring the energetic systems back online. Super powerful. And like I said, it's something I'm seeing in just about everyone that walks through my door. So try it, because it will open your energetic fields up, it will open your chakra system back up, and you'll be able to work with healing yourself or your intuition and so many other aspects. It will turn on your immune system, it'll turn on your digestion system, so it'll get things functioning again. And do it daily at the moment. It's a collective energy, so it's really powerful to use. It's simple, it's quick. Give it a go. Next one is conditioning. If you're conditioned to believe something's meant to be a certain way, you are limited in your capacity because you're trusting in what you've been guided from a young age to do. So you're trusting in your programming and your patterning and the things that society's told you that things are meant to be a certain way. So you're going to be limited in your capacity to trust what is given. Not being able to connect into your body. If you can't feel your senses, you can't connect into your body, you're missing the element where it's delivered. So learning to come back into the senses of the body, touching gently, feeling the tickles, allow the wind. What can you hear? Well, you can hear me at the moment, but I can hear birds. I can hear the trees rustling. There's lots of beautiful things, other noises I can hear. Use your senses. If you're tasting something, allow that taste. Because if you're in your senses and you're actually connected to the sense, you can't be in your mind. And you're allowing the mind to still and that phone line to not be engaged for that message to come through. And not trusting. We've talked about trust, not trusting. Not trusting in the divine, not trusting in yourself, not trusting in what's delivered. Trust is a big thing. Another thing is that we don't ask and we don't give permission. Now, a big thing to know is that your soul will not go against your free will. You are here to have a human experience. You are here to make choices. If you allow yourself to be led by your mind and your ego, your soul will very rarely interfere in what's going on in your world. It will nudge you, it might slap you. Eventually, your intuition becomes whispers, so quiet that you can't hear it. It stops speaking because you don't listen. Or maybe you're doing things, sabotaging yourself because of the stuff that it's guidance it's giving you. So sometimes we need to build that trust between the two again. It wants to help you, but it doesn't know that you're going to help yourself. And if it thinks that it's actually damaging your ability to move forward in positive ways, it will take a step back. And if you haven't given permission, in my healing, in my most critical moment in my life where I felt like everything was caving in around me and my life had just crumbled, I was a shadow of the person I thought I was meant to be, and nothing was working for me at that time. I actually opened myself to the divine. I asked for its guidance. I made a prayer and said, please help me. There has to be something beyond where I am. I gave permission. and said, I'm going to just, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose in this moment? Because nothing else is working. And trusting in that and allowing myself to build that trust and allowing my ego to build trust in the guidance took time. You don't just one day go, yeah, I trust. You allow it to almost show you things and you're like, wow, that did work out. And wow, that I learned this from that experience. Step into it with curiosity, not judgment. Be open to expansion. Be open to knowledge and growth. If you step into everything with curiosity and openness, guarantee you will see some really beautiful diamonds delivered, some beautiful gifts that come through these experiences. So that's a few reasons why it shuts down. And I'm sure you could probably tick a few of those boxes there. It's work, it takes time. So we spoke about the reasons and the benefits, that we can act quickly, we can respond, we have this undivided trust, life flows, opportunities come. We have a deep feeling of fulfillment. Almost got my tongue tied then. We can be warned against things like Byron with the battery, right? We get moments where it actually encourages us or disencourages us or warns us something's going on. We get this feeling that don't trust in that person, like a gut feeling, not a head chatter, a gut feeling that person just doesn't feel right, something about them. Usually those things are always right. We allow opportunities to come. So happiness, and we have a lot less sickness in our body because when we don't listen to our intuition and allow it to guide us to heal, allow us to guide us to expand, allow us to walk on the path we're meant to, we generally attract more sickness and more imbalances within the field. The more we are imbalanced energetically and out of alignment of true self and our true path, the quicker this path ends usually. So we create a lot more sickness and disharmony in our world. Okay, so how can you listen? How can you learn to listen? Be kind to yourself. Don't judge. I've already explained some of these things. Sometimes we need to hear it a few times to go, I get this. Own what is true in the moment. Be present in this moment. This is the only moment that exists. Time is an illusion. The past is done. The future is not here yet. The only thing that exists is now. Be present within you now. Be conscious. When I say conscious, in your awareness and in observing, witnessing what is present in this moment, you can learn a lot. So be present. Allow that to be true. Ground yourself. The more grounded you are, the more you are in your body. And you have the capacity to feel what's within your body. If you're out of your body or in your head, you're less connected to your senses. Don't allow negative thought loops to run. And that's usually a sign of the fight and flight, anxiety, depression, those kind of things. That we're in a state of survival, looking for things. We're in the future, in the past. Don't allow those negative thoughts. Don't allow those loops to repeat. Break them down, come into the senses. I've taught you techniques, use some of them. Run your energy. When I say run your energy, breathe in and out of your chakras. Move your energy field. Pull the energy from the top of your crown into your body. Allow it to circulate around the body. Connecting to the earth, draw that energy up and allow it to circulate around your body. So all these things can really, really help. Ask your higher self. Give permission to it to guide you. Okay? Build that relationship with it. It allows time to be retrained. So give time, give space. When we ask, don't expect it to give the answer straight away. It will give the answer in the divine right timing. So give space. Allow there to be space in these moments. Again, feel the body, move with your body. Allow it to be creative in the way it expresses itself. Trust. Don't be limited to the mind. So those are just a few of the bits and pieces I wanted to share today. And so like a information overload, and I speak fast. That is me. I love to give so much knowledge and awareness and tools and techniques. I love to be able to empower people to walk this path because we all deserve it. You deserved it. I deserve it. We all deserve it. So lean into this space. Try it. And it's a beautiful journey. It can be a challenging one too, but there's so much beauty in this world, and your path will deliver some of that. Be open to it. Hope you enjoyed today's short masterclass on self-mastery through intuition, by utilizing our intuition. Comment below, tell me what you like, tell me if it resonates. I'd love to hear from you all. I'd love to hear who tuned in. That's me for today. Love and light from Kelly at Energetically Inspired. Bye.